Like, it's fucking... I remember it was, like, Marianthi's, like, little cousin and his mom was like, oh, you're gonna play Minecraft with Dylan. And, like, it broke the language barrier. Minecraft.
That's all you
That's what it's fucking called.
Lapis lazuli.
It's like...
fucking... No, but, I don't know if you guys have noticed this, right? But it seems to me, at least,
that you start every episode.
that all you see on TV is, like, you know, violence and sex, and, you know, but, like, where are these, like, these values that we used to, like, you know, to rely on? That's all I'm saying. Like, do you know anybody that could help me with that, Dylan? You know,
Lucky there's a family guy.
Oh, wow, that's crazy. Welcome to the Joystick Show, episode 242.
Woo!
Where we just steal other TV intros from now on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's because we've run out of ways to start this up.
Yes,
we're gonna this podcast.
Get ready to hear the MIDI Friends intro.
Get ready to hear the MIDI Joystick Show intro. God, we need to make that. Right off the bat, I said I was going to stop saying that, and you keep saying that. This time I'm blaming subliminal imagery because you have baseball on in the background. And I saw, what's this guy's name? Edwin Diaz, right?
Yeah.
And he's got the little face on. He's lit. That's what his face looks like right there. But
yeah.
Thanks for stopping by. Make sure to like this episode of the Joystick Show. Make sure to go ahead and subscribe to Team Joystick. It's going to be a cool one. We're talking about movies. We're talking about TV. We're talking about games. That's usually what you can expect here. All right. Real quick, weather check. How's everybody doing right now?
I'm vibing, dude.
Vibing?
Yeah, pretty good. I have a little life update. There goes the TV. Oh, it's back.
Yeah.
That's always fun to have like a little flicker thing on the side.
Let me just jump in there real quick.
Yeah.
The guys will attest. I bought a new one.
Yes.
Nice and shiny. Put it in. The mixer was working. We did audio tests. It was not showing anything on the TV. It was very annoying. I apologize. It's technically not my fault. I decided to put the old flickering one on because a flickering TV is better than a TV that's just off. But that's my opinion.
I agree.
All right. But that being said, what's the life update, Dill?
Yeah, the life update is I decided of how I'm going to go through my lifelong journey of watching Lost. Because now me and my fiance are, of course, we have plans to live together. So once we live together, it'll be easier to watch the show in full. But we only get through like 2 episodes when we see each other, 3 episodes. We don't get through a lot. So we're going through this show at like a very slow pace, and it's really helping me savor the moment. But I do have a little side story. I don't want to spoil the show, even though, you know, obviously I already kind of spoiled. I told Bobby the ending, and shit about the characters really doesn't spoil. So every episode of Lost, it's like, it's about a certain character.
Okay.
And so it's like a spotlight. And through season 1, they do multiples of like all the big people, like Jack, the doctor, Kate, like all the big people. They do like the main episodes. The last episode me and my fiance ended on was an episode about Boone and Shannon, who are basically a brother and sister, like the rich kids on the plane. Essentially, they like they don't know how to do anything. They have no survival skills. But Boone really tries go out of his way to do it. Shannon, she like tans on the beach and shit.
She's like Sharpay.
Yeah, she gives off like Paris Hilton vibes, if you can imagine that, like tall blonde. Essentially, the flashbacks, the first one shows you that they're actually not related, that they're stepbrother and stepsister. So right off the bat, Marianthi is making a bunch of like, oh no, stepbro, like boy, you know, I'm stuck here, you know, like exact jokes, and I'm crying because they're really good. And every time, and he's like getting really overprotective. And Saeed, who already is like one of my favorite characters, is Iraqi. They start like flirting, and he's like only I fuck my sister, you know, like. We kept changing the quotes as it was going along, and then like essentially all the storylines were like this convoluted shit where essentially she called him, how they ended up on the plane going from Sydney to LA was that she called him to come to Sydney because she had an abusive boyfriend. But then basically he paid the guy money to like leave her, but it was all a ruse to get money because he had the money.
Okay.
And the episode ends with them fucking. And I lost my shit. I was like, babe, did you remember this? She's like, I did not know this. And I do not remember that plot line. So instead of my ranking, due to that whole storyline and that not great acting,
drops a 0.5.
It's 0.25. It's at a 9.75.
Okay. That's okay.
Yeah, because like my rule is that you can't go over 10. Yeah. Because if you could go over 10, we'd be at like 12, 13 right now. But you can't do that, right?
Gotcha.
I just got to take points off, and
gotcha.
Her like that acting of her being drunk and just being like, I know you always into me when we were kids, and I'm like, no, this is not cool. This is not the vibe.
Yeah.
We had like a premonition kind of like in the show. But yeah, that's, fucking Lost.
Yeah.
I'm like addicted. I just love, there should be more memes of like that intro where the logo just turns.
I've never seen it. I've never even seen the intro to Lost.
Oh shit. So there's no opening sequence. So
it's
basically
just like a title.
Yeah.
Screen.
So how the show structures is that there's like a cold open.
Yeah.
And then it'll basically lead to like a revealing thing or like a jump scare or something that you find out between two characters.
An inciting incident.
Yeah. And then it'll just go cut the black, and then you'll see just the logo Lost, but it won't be still. It'll kind of like turn in like the PS2 kind of squiggles.
Okay, gotcha.
It'll turn in, and then at the end you'll get like the big dun dun like Lost with the front. But yeah,
you really painted a picture.
Yeah, I did.
Appreciate that. I was also gonna say, I'm just gonna splash a little fun fact on you because we learned it last weekend with Jose, because you said Sydney. The other day we went to go hang out at Astoria Park.
Yes.
And when you're driving over the Triborough Bridge or the RFK Bridge, and you look over to the right, there's like the Amtrak or like the train bridge.
Oh, the red one. Yeah, I love that bridge.
So we looked it up. I don't know why. It's called Hell's Gate Bridge.
Yeah, I know about, yes. I love this bridge.
The reason I'm connecting it here is because it actually inspired the architect and engineer who designed the Sydney Harbour Bridge in Australia. And when you look it up, they look exactly the fucking same. Like, here's the Hell's Gate Bridge, and then here's the Sydney Harbour Bridge. Like, the guy literally saw that and was like, I found it. I'm just going to make that. So I just thought that was pretty
No,
funny.
because that bridge was crazy. Because I remember I'd always drive over that bridge, and I would never see a train. But now I was on the RFK, and I saw an Amtrak going by, and I was like, oh, shit, there it is. I guess Amtrak just runs the route more. But
So there's a little, geographical, architectural knowledge for you, pal. Just
nice.
I like to sprinkle
So to go back to the Lost, Dylan, how long is it? Because I remember you telling me to watch it a while ago.
Yes, it is 6 seasons.
6 seasons. They're all like hour episodes.
Yeah, like 40, 41 minute, 42 minute. The first season is like really long. It's like 25, and then the other seasons are like 18 episodes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, because I need something to watch. Man.
Yeah, I would honestly, Jerry, I would say watch the few episodes, and then if you're not into it,
right,
to stop. But like, it has everything. It's like thriller, sci-fi, very dramatic. It'll be a scene that shouldn't be dramatic at all, and they make it the most dramatic shit possible. Yeah, fucking, great ensemble.
Cool.
A lot of people.
I want to talk about a TV show.
Okay.
That's also old.
Okay.
So the other day, I'm trying to like think of how I went about starting this show, but I think it was just actually I can describe how it started really well. I've been listening to a song that's very catchy. It was made by a man who recently unfortunately took his own life. It's that catchy song. It's called, I think it's if you're seeing this, it's already too late, something, but it's a catchy pop tune. And then in a weird twist of fate, it ended up getting memed into a song that is sung by AI-generated voices from all of the animated TV dads. So it's like, fucking Bob from Bob's Burger gets a verse, Peter gets a verse, Homer gets a verse, And after watching this meme, I don't know, like 16 times in a row and having every lyric stuck in my head,
It's in my head. It's in my head right now. It's already like you didn't even have to sing it there. It was already playing in my head.
If you see me out in Quahog, say hi. I'm sorry, but yes, in watching that, it hit me. I was like, I've never watched an episode of American Dad. I was like, I've seen almost every episode of Family Guy. Has that never happened?
Some Family Guy episodes many times.
I had an American Dad phase.
So I threw it on, started watching from the pilot. Fucking hilarious show. Yeah. Holy hell. I don't know why it took me this long to get into it, but
it's good.
I'm such a fan. Like, yeah, unfortunately I haven't had the time to really like sit down and like, do the typical Bobby binge where I can crank through like a whole season in one sitting, but I've only watched like the first 5 episodes, but like every episode has me at one point laughing out loud. So Great show.
Yeah, I had like a binge back when it was like, you couldn't find Family Guy episodes online for free all the time. Mm-hmm. And I was like, all right, I found all the popular ones. Like, what else is there to watch? The next closest thing. I was like, fuck it, it's kind of good.
Yeah. It's also like interesting that I not only had I not watched it, I genuinely had like no insight going into it. Like, if I had to be completely honest with you, this was all I knew about the show. I knew that Stan worked for the CIA. I know that Roger was an alien that lived in their house. I knew that Klaus was a talking fish.
Right.
That's it. Oh, and I knew that Haley had a boyfriend. Literally all I knew about the show.
I have weirdly seen a lot of episodes. It's weird how like this is like maybe the first time ever that like besides like a weird niche video game that like me and Jerry have seen the show more than you.
yeah.
I've seen a lot. I've seen now that I'm like thinking, I can think back to like 40 separate like episodes that I remember now in my head. Like I can like.
But like in another weird way, like I'm also kind of excited not to compare it to Family Guy, or at least not in terms of like show to show, but to kind of see like, because Family Guy went through its own phase where it was really great at the start, and then people started phoning it in. So I'm kind of interested to see when and if that happens in American Dad. You know what I'm saying? Like where the show starts to delve away from its traditional roots, where the characters start to get flanderized a little bit into caricatures. So
Loki, I even watched a little bit of Cleveland Show.
I did too when it was first out, but I couldn't really get into it.
Maybe on like Adult Swim. Maybe, but like I remember specifically not only American Dad always being on like after Family Guy, but also like just my dad I think I still have it in my room, the season 1 DVDs of American Dad.
Well, now this guy Seth MacFarlane, I think he's making an animated series for Ted.
Yeah, I heard about this. Yeah,
which I don't know how I feel about because
there's already enough Ted. I feel.
Well, it's not that. I'm assuming that by doing this, that means he's like not continuing the live action show on Peacock. But that was actually hilarious. Like,
I thought it was good. Yeah,
it was really well done. But I think part of the pull for this one is apparently like Mark Wahlberg and Amanda Seyfried are coming back to like voice the characters,
and it's easier for them because they don't have to like live action act.
And not only that, like I'm assuming that that's probably just going to get more pull because as funny as the Ted show was, it didn't have like anybody famous on it other than Seth MacFarlane, who wasn't even in it technically. He voiced the bear, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just my business brain going on there.
I never watched the Ted show.
It was really funny. It was only like
I don't think
episodes.
I even watched the Ted 2. I just watched the first one.
I don't think I watched Ted 2 either.
I only know like the clips of like
I know the Tom Brady jokes. Yeah,
and
like, I've seen all that.
I know
stuff.
I've seen all the cameos, but I don't think I've actually seen Ted 2. I saw Ted at the movie theater in Cape May, New Jersey.
Wow. Yeah. I didn't see Ted. I saw Ted when Netflix sent you the movies in the mail.
Oh man,
that's fucking crazy.
I was you know what's crazy?
I
was explaining this I think to Midrift, and she didn't remember that. Like she was like, really? And I was like, yeah, Netflix used to be like a.
Oh, that's that's what it was. No, that's why it was like such a big fucking deal that they became like the biggest company ever.
And I was explaining
because it was like
you
were the fucking you were literally Blockbuster.
Not only that, I was explaining it to her. I was like, yeah, they used to send them the movies in, and then at some point they fully transferred over to the now that we know the streaming platform where you can just go onto the server and watch it. And in my head, I was trying to remember when that happened. Do you remember what it was that when the switch happened?
It was like around when the Wii was out, right?
You used to have to get the PS3 disc and put it into the PlayStation 3. That was the start of that. Remember, Netflix would send you a disc that you put into your PlayStation, and when the disc was in it, you could stream movies and television on it.
That
was literally like the beginning of streaming.
And then
they made one for the Wii. You put it in the Wii and the Xbox.
That makes perfect sense.
That's how it started.
And then eventually,
and then they just put it onto apps. And
everything became appified, and then
you download it instead of having a disc. But that's where it started. I was like, holy shit! I remember they sent it to you in a red sleeve. You pull it out, and it was weird because like. You had to have the disc in to watch the movies and shit. So I'd have like my stack of PlayStation games and then just like the one red Netflix sleeve on the top. I never used it, but it's like if I wanted to watch.
If you wanted to watch that.
Because back in the day, I would Jack Sparrow everything on the internet. But
yeah.
That's not even stream. That feels like on demand. It doesn't even feel like streaming. You know what I mean?
That's technically what I mean. On demand, if you really want to go back, that was like
the OG stream.
OG, right? But even then, it was like. They couldn't keep that much data on, so you could only watch like 4 episodes of Family Guy.
Do you want to watch 18 bad music videos?
Yeah. You want to watch movie trailers? Like, Man.
It's kind of funny that the apps are just that again. Because it was like every channel had their own, right?
Yeah.
Like we're going right back to that.
It was literally
And then
like,
now all of them
Comedy
are
Central
collabing again,
Right.
and now we're going right back to TV because there's gonna be like 4 different channels.
Yep.
Oh, TV.
How history repeats itself.
Oh, we love TV.
It's great. To transfer off of TV to talk about a slightly bigger screen, that being the silver screen. It's kind of funny considering this movie was a Netflix original. It was streamed on Netflix, but whatever.
It was not a big screen.
Have you guys heard of the movie Always Be My Maybe?
No.
Nope.
I'm kind of happy you haven't, because I've heard of it, but I never watched it. Mildred showed it to me the other day. I'm gonna set it up for you, and then I'll tell you what I think about it. It's a rom-com, a romantic comedy that was written by Ali Wong, famous comedian, and Randall Park, famous actor.
Okay, I mean that already sounds like
Pretty solid, right?
I mean,
So they're apparently, like, how I looked into the development of the movie and even how they met and stuff. So apparently they both met at like an Asian improv group somewhere, and I think actually they were participants in like a pork fried rice cooking competition that they had like hosted or something like that, some shit like that. And they've known each other since like 2016, or maybe even earlier than that. And for years, they've always kind of had this idea where they've wanted to work with each other and make a movie. Mm-hmm. And their idea was they wanted to make their version of When Harry Met Sally.
okay.
So the premise of the movie is essentially Ali Wong plays a girl named Sasha. Randall Park plays a guy named Marcus. They're childhood best friends from San Francisco. They remain really, really close friends all the way up until they're about 17 and they're like graduating high school. His mom passes away, and they end up having an awkward moment in his car where they end up kissing each other and having sex. And then directly after, things get, really distant, and they end up not really talking to each other for 16 years. And then after 16 years, now they're in their early 30s. They meet up again in San Francisco for the first time. She's in like an on-again, off-again relationship with somebody. He's dating like an Asian wook, like with the fucking dreadlocks and everything. And basically, it's kind of like a will they, won't they story of them trying to get together. That being said, this movie's a fat 9 out of 10. Maybe even a 9.5. It's like one of the best written movies I've seen in a really long time. And like genuinely funny. Also, what I found really interesting about it is recently, I don't really know why. I mean, I'm sure it's related to a lot of to the fact that he's doing more projects, but Randall Park recently did like a little press tour of like he did like the Tonight Show, he did like the Jennifer Hudson show, he did one of the morning shows, I think Sway, and everybody was like, oh, this guy raps, and they had him freestyle and all this stuff. So I learned about that recently, but then when I showed that to Mildred was like, bro, I been know that, because in this movie the character that he plays is essentially like an over dramatized version of himself.
Yeah.
So when he was in college, Randall Park had a rap group. So in this, this character actually has like a music group that he's been trying to get off the ground and stuff like that. And part of it is just like the movie's written very close to them. And I feel like when you do that, not only do you get more human stories, but you get more like not to even sound corny, but you just get like things are more funny when it's like unique. Like shit can only happen to like one person, right? It's like, you can write a generic moment like, oh, I don't know, he fucking spills a drink on her and that becomes a thing. But you've seen that in every fucking movie. It's more unique if like, I don't know, I'm trying to think of an example directly from the film, but point is like it's a well structured film. And then the last thing that I'll point out, which is I thought was pretty cool, is there's like a part in the middle where like he's kind of like, maybe I'll tell her how I feel so we could be together kind of thing. And like right when he's about to, she ends up meeting somebody. And she's like, yo, I just met somebody. And then they're like good friends. And she's like, so we have freaky ass sex. And he's like, oh, cool, great. That's great for you. That's awesome. And he's like, who is she? And she's like, we'll have a double date and you'll meet him. And when he meets him, it's Keanu Reeves. So Keanu Reeves plays an over-dramatized version of himself in the movie. And what I found really funny is like when they were writing the script, the idea from the very start was like, it's going to be Keanu. But they were like, he's a busy guy nowadays, just in case we can't get him, like we'll have backups. So apparently some of the backups were like M. Night Shyamalan, Paul Giamatti, like that was the idea. Just like people who are known for being like relatively talented and good people, you know, because the point is he plays like a douchebag in the movie. You're not supposed to believe it. But apparently, when they brought up the idea to him, not only was Keanu like, yeah, apparently he's like a really big fan of Ali Wong's stand-up. So he's like, let's do it. I'm down. He did it in between filming John Wick 3. Like, he flew for 2 days just to do his scenes. And what I find really funny is, like, they did an interview and Randall and Ali were like, no, like, he's hilarious. Like, he was the one who basically, like, offered to do all of these dumb bits of the movie. Like, one of the things is he wears glasses without lenses because he's, like, studying for a role. And Keanu was like, wouldn't it be funny if I wore glasses without lenses? So, like, literally,
So
he's
random.
like, yeah. And then funny, and then at the end of the movie, there's, like, a whole rap song that ends it called I Punched Keanu Reeves, because, like, that happens in the movie. And Randall Park wrote it, and then he sent it to Keanu to get, like, approval. He was like, I just wanted to get your permission for making the song. And not only did Keanu Reeves give him permission, he like gave him more lines to use. So he's like, yeah, some of the lines were ghost written by Keanu himself. So fucking shout outs. Great movie, great people. At least a 9 out of 10. I could even improve it after a second rewatch. That's how much I like this movie. But always be my maybe.
What was it called again? Oh, you just said
always be my maybe.
I was loaded. I had the question loaded up already.
It's a little play on the Mariah Carey song, yeah. But it's a jam. I like it. It's a good one. It's one of the better movies I've seen in a while. Shout outs.
Yeah, a lot of good movies coming out.
Strap in. Not to go on a whole different thing, but I actually wrote a whole a list of every movie coming out this summer that I have to watch.
I feel like there's been like a show drought.
So I'm already off to a bad start because these 2 movies came out and I haven't, or technically 3 movies have came out and I haven't seen them yet. There's what is it, Friendship? Is that what it's called? The one with Paul Rudd,
right?
And Tim Robinson. Lilo and Stitch. Haven't seen that, even though I've heard from people it's not what we were expecting. Fountain of Youth, Apple TV original, John Krasinski, Emily Blunt. Supposed to be like Indiana Jones, Uncharted-ish. I actually heard it wasn't that great, but I still want to check it out. Ballerina comes out this Friday. Definitely want to go watch that from the John Wick universe. I will be there by myself if I have to. The week after that, How to Train Your Dragon, the live action version. Definitely checking that out. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. July 11th, Superman. Oof, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry mad tears at that movie. So my voice cracked a little bit. That's how excited I am. Fantastic Four comes out July 25th. Also on July 25th on Netflix, another one I'm really happy for, Happy Gilmore 2. Ooh, right. Super excited.
That's okay. That's fucking hype as hell.
We might have a little watch party here for that.
We should.
August 1st, Naked Gun. Also excited for that. Seth MacFarlane's producing that. Directed by
Why is every movie coming out? What
right?
the fuck?
Directed by Akiva Schaffer. Nobody 2, August 22nd.
I heard about that.
And then the new Darren Aronofsky film, Caught Stealing, August 29th. So just a huge, massive, a lot of action comedy this summer I'm noticing. But I'm here for it. Those are like my favorite genres. So lots of movies to watch. And lots of games to play. Am I right, Jerry?
Yep, they're all coming out right now.
No, I want to talk about one game that we've been playing.
Oh yeah.
Fuck it. No, but what have you been playing, Jerry?
I've been playing.
Jerry's in a whole fucking different ecosystem right now.
Yeah, I mean, I've been having to move, man. My PlayStation's busted, so I got limited options. I just got to pick what my PC can run. So I've been playing. What's this game called? Splitgate 2.
Yeah.
The beta.
You haven't played Splitgate,
No, I have
right?
not. I've seen people posting about Splitgate 2. And
Listen, I gotta... Because the way we went about playing it was just really out of nowhere. Like, Jerry was just like, we were having an off day in Rivals. He was like, bro, you want to just try Splitgate 2? We'll get the beta. And we just jumped right into it, right?
Yeah.
This is the second game. So I saw Splitgate 1 gameplay when that game first came out. And I remember when I saw it, I was just like... It didn't really, like, blow my mind. Like, I was like, it's cool. The concept is cool. It looks clunky, whatever. And then when I heard Splitgate 2 was coming out, I just kind of like immediately compared it to the first one without even looking at it. I was just like, it's gonna be like the first one. I wasn't into the first one. So even like downloading the game, going into it, I was like, yeah, whatever. Like, I'll play it for a bit. The game is fucking fun, Dylan. It plays so fun. It's the best way I could describe it after playing it for a bit is... The 2 games that you immediately lock onto are Halo and Portal. The Portal part, obviously, because there's Portal aspects. It's basically like an arena shooter, but like, what if you could Portal behind your enemy? Yeah. Or like, what if you could Portal to their side and shoot through the Portal? Like, those are things you can do. And it's definitely hugely inspired by Halo. I mean, the guns all feel like Halo. There's literally an announcer that's like double kill, triple kill, like, you know. But I have to say, it plays a lot like Call of Duty. It's very like quick and like, because, you know,
from what I saw, it looks like it. Honestly, I mean, from what I saw, it kind of looks like. I don't want to compare it to this, but like the PS4 had like a bunch of these like free to play random first person shooters, like Blacklight Retribution and shit like that. Like, I don't know if you guys ever seen those games, but that's what I'm imagining in my head. Like,
but I think that's what I was imagining too going into it. Like,
that's what the first one was. Yeah.
But no, this game, it's legit.
Yeah.
Like, this is a fun ass game. Like, I think it has a lot of potential. I mean, it had like a whole EXP like ranking system that didn't work until like a couple days ago. So now we're finally getting to unlock all the different guns and stuff. But it's a good amount of fun. There's a lot of interesting game modes. Yeah. And that being said, what's your favorite game mode if you had to pick one?
I like the one where you have to capture what is it called? The split ball.
Yeah, that was what they asked. Split ball's fun, man.
Yeah, I you know what it is? I wasn't a huge fan of Oddball in Halo because it was so hard.
Oddball wasn't good.
It was so hard, but it's a different ball game when you have portals. You can just pew pew and get over there.
Okay.
Like, I didn't play Oddball in Halo. What's like the big differences between split ball and Oddball?
The movement in Halo sucks.
Okay.
Oh yeah, no, Halo. You're constantly like Halo is like. I don't know why everyone just was okay with how fucking clunky that game was, but it was just kind of what you had.
Right.
Like, you throw a grenade and like you couldn't like once you threw it, you couldn't
Just
like
stop,
you were just like, I'm throwing it over here, and then you had like run away, and then like the change of gun, it was like the slowest animation of you getting a new gun. Like, it was just
like Brawl. It's like you know, it's like it's like Brawl versus like Smash 4. It's just like you get to move.
Yeah.
And also like Halo, I think also the culture in Halo was just like you did a death match, or you did like team deathmatch, or you did like King of the Hill type stuff. Yeah. Well, the one where you're like Juggernaut, like you're like the hitman or whatever. That too, but it would always.
This one has like an arena gameplay mode where like it basically cycles through a bunch of different game types. So there's like, and all of the game types are different, but they follow the same format in that there's rounds in a best of 5 or best to 3, where like there's 5 rounds total. But like if the one team wins the first 3, then it's over. Yeah. So there's like team deathmatch where you have to race to 20 kills. There's split ball. There's like a hot zone one.
So it's fast paced.
It's really fast paced. Yeah. And all the maps are really small, but I like that. Like that's how it should be. Big ones now. I saw there was one that I started playing on it, but I was getting a little ragey, so I left. I didn't really get to explore much of the map, but
yeah, but most of them are like real tight. That's what feels good. That game doesn't really stop.
And that being said, not to go on a whole other tangent, last night, Mildred fell asleep at like 11, and I was like, I'm not tired. I'm just going to like play video games. And from 11 to 1, I just played a shit ton of Splitgate, Marvel Rivals, and Apex Legends. And I was like, damn, I forgot how much I love all of these games.
You like shooting.
Yeah, I hadn't played Apex in like a month, and I was honestly shocked with how smooth I was. Like, my aiming was still a little off. That needs some work, but like the movement stuff, I was like, holy fuck, I'm gliding. Like, let's go. But yeah, shout outs to online video gaming with the boys, with the friends.
Shout outs to guns.
No.
Virtual gun.
Vuns.
Vaming.
All right, anybody got anything else to swing it into?
I don't know. It's been a pretty boring week for me, to be honest.
I got nothing that's like worthwhile. Like, I could probably find some random shit to like riff.
I got through my 3 big things.
Yeah, I could find some random thing to riff about for 5 minutes.
Right, we could talk about the Knicks.
I don't want to talk about
the Knicks.
I already contemplated.
Yeah, I mean, you're already jinxing that shit. Like,
I mean, I could talk about one last thing that I kind of wanted to talk about. It's Minecraft. Like, you guys were watching me play it upstairs. What's the deal with Minecraft? Like, why is that game so timeless? I don't understand. Like,
this is good. It's I don't want to get like deep with it, but it's like it's life. You know what I mean?
You got deep with it.
You know what I mean? Like it's like no, but it's like you gotta. It's like you have survival where it's like you gotta survive to live, and then you have creative, which is like I could do whatever I want, and then it's like if the possibilities are endless, then you're never gonna fucking.
I don't know why I'm fucking laughing my ass off at this idea of just like one man just like spawning in a wide open land and just being like, oh shit, I guess I'll chop a tree down with my bare hands now. Like the idea that fucking. Like Minecraft came from a specific time where they used to punch trees down with their hands.
That's the thing. It's its own. No,
I know.
I kind of like when games are like they're its own thing.
It's a take.
They have their own rules of whatever. Like that's what you need. You know what I mean?
Like Dylan, wouldn't play Roller Coaster Tycoon if you had to physically build a fucking roller coaster? Like,
I have a question. When was the first time you played Minecraft? I remember I played it when it still said it was in beta, and I had it on a laptop.
So you played it on the PC? Like
yeah,
I played it at like a friend's house on PC, and then the one time I actually like sat down and like learned how to play was 360.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, but I remember playing the demo at like my friend's house or something, and just being like, and also I never played like mouse and keyboard, so like I didn't know how to fucking move. I was like,
if I'm being honest, I think the first time for me might have been on like iPod Touch. Jeez. Remember the?
Oh no!
But like, yeah, it was like really outdated. You couldn't really do much on it. But I have a distinct memory that one time we went to like a family trip, and my little cousin brought his Xbox 360, and like the big wave was Minecraft. And I remember we stood up until like 6 a.m. just playing Minecraft, like. And that just ticked every box for me, like find a creeper, find diamond, like go to the nether. Like I did everything in that one night, and I was like, yo, this is fucking insane, bro. There's so much more, you know. But no, I just bring it up because Jose's also been watching me play it, and it's funny because like every 30 minutes it feels like out of the silence one of us is just like fucking Minecraft, man. Right? Like I'm almost mad about it because like I go into it every 5 years at this point, and I'm like, this is gonna be bullshit. It's gonna be all this extra bullshit.
Look at like I mean, it makes sense. So like, look how much money Notch made. Look at every like child. Like every child
and he
knows
sold
about
that shit like 15 years
like
ago.
Literally like it's fucking. I remember it was like Marianthi's like little cousin and his mom was like, oh, you're gonna play Minecraft with Dylan, and like it broke the language barrier. Minecraft.
That's all you.
That's what it's fucking called.
Lapis lazuli.
It's like.
Fucking no, but it was just funny to me because like we were talking about how timeless the game is. I'm sorry I broke Dylan. We were talking about how timeless the fucking game was, and I was telling him like I just think it's really funny how like not only can different generations of people play Minecraft, obviously, but like we play it for different reasons, right? So like Jerry was explaining like a little bit earlier about how his niece plays it. It makes like little courses. It makes their mom, you know, run over them or whatever.
Right.
My students have like the mods, and they're like, we got to meet up together or fight this boss that they, you know, like there's all these. Meanwhile, Jose is watching me for 3 hours look for a cactus, but I'm having the time of my life. Like I'm in a boat, like we're gonna find a desert, you know, but like. It's no matter which way you look at it, like me, his niece, my student, like we're all having the same level of enjoyment. Even Jose watching it, you know, like it makes very little sense.
And you honestly didn't even scratch the surface of what else you could do in that game either. Like I know a bunch of people who would play like cops and robbers and like those type of game modes. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, like not to cut you off, but like Roblox I feel is definitely the new, you know, like you can do whatever you want in this game, but Minecraft definitely paved its own way.
I mean, even now, like Minecraft, Forge, and Halo, like it was very much like, what game mode do you want to play? Let's fucking make it.
Fucking Gary's mod, like all those old, you know, sandbox. And here we were saying we had nothing to talk about fucking 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, I know, but if it's video, I mean, honestly, like video games.
Not also to mention, we had a shout outs to Matt Newmeyer, longtime watcher, and also shout outs to his podcast. Shout outs to the Jamie David podcast. It's awesome. He actually left a comment the other day saying that our episode 240, I think, was like a really good episode. And what's funny is like after not only like editing the episode and hearing the comment, I was like, this was a solid episode. And it's because like half the episode we just talked about video games. But it's like, lo and behold, it's the one thing that we can fucking talk dictionaries about.
Who would have guessed?
So I think we might have to start, doing half episode video game talkie.
I feel like, like a quarter, a third.
Yeah.
I
like a third. Third's pretty good, Third life.
I also realized that, like, I don't know, not that, like, I don't, obviously I don't have the video games that, I don't have the idea that video games are shitty or anything, but, like, I kind of fell into, like, a hole for a little bit, like, where, like, I got, like, Jose and I wasn't a gamer anymore, you know what I mean, for a little bit, but, like, I don't know, I kind of get, like, I don't know, like, when I talk about video games, I get, like, like I even said, like, I get, like, deep and, like, artistic with it. I don't know why, but I'm always, like, even, like, I was, like,
because we care about it.
And I was like explaining Balatro, and I was like, or even then I was watching a video essay about Balatro, and I was like, this is fucking crazy.
Now we're at an age where we can play games and we can not only like tell whether or not it, like, oh, is the game fun? Like, oh, is the story good? We can actually like tell if the mechanics of the game.
Did you see this new fucking game that's out? I think it's coming out like in like 2 weeks. It's a multiplayer soccer game where everyone's playing like an individual person.
It was made by the Sifu people.
Yeah.
That shit looks fucking crazy.
Yeah,
it's mad good. I'm like, I literally pre-ordered it because like they have like the other versions, but like the pre-orders I think are like, it's like 20, 40, 60.
Yeah, I will.
And you can buy the $20 version and still play it. And I'm like, that's how games should be priced. If I'm gonna be real, like I know that like that's always a dumb debate of like video games costing too much, even though they've always cost too much in my opinion. But that's what it costs, right? But like that kind of pricing model where you have like tiers, I know people don't like that because people don't like microtransactions and stuff like that, but nothing wrong with it in my opinion.
Like pay for what you want.
Yeah, as long as it's not pay to win, it's pay for whatever, you know what I mean? Like cosmetics or even just like, I don't know, half the countries in the world banned loot boxes, which like, explain that to someone 100 years ago. That like half the countries in the modern world had to ban video games where there was percentages, where you can spend real money on percentage chances to win stuff.
Oh, you can gamble in games? Yeah. What do you win? Nothing.
You win a virtual item
that sometimes could be worth something.
And if the game goes down, you no longer have the virtual item.
Anyway, shout outs to generational gaming. Yeah. All right. Now we can talk about generational music. Look at that. Look at the same wavelength, baby. It's Jam and Yam time. You know what it'd be. Listen, I'm just going to go ahead and jump the gun. I had like 3 songs that were all fighting for Jam of the Week that I've been listening to in the past week. And then something interesting happened where on the train, I just put on my jams, let it play randomly, and I heard a song that I don't feel like I gave enough attention to. Like I heard it once and just kind of like threw it on the playlist, and I've probably listened to it like 20 times. So even though I added it to the jams a long, long time ago, it's never been a jam. So shout outs to the song No Matter What by Aaron's Book Club.
Nice.
Really, 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 I don't know what
this is,
really good song. I don't know how to explain it. It's like a little emo but soft.
Okay.
Like acoustic.
Nice.
The guy's vocals are like almost angelic. Like
I like this.
Like little soft tones, and then at the end it goes into like a hard final verse with a little bit of screaming and yelling. But fantastic song.
So it's like emo bedroom pop, kinda. That would be a bad, because the way you described it was like
bedroom pop in lyricism and like tonality, but not in music.
Okay,
more so emo. You're on to something.
Yeah.
But that's my jam of the week. That's nice. No matter what.
Cool.
My song of the week is gonna be a song by 2 rappers, one of which is deceased, and the other has been getting a lot of attention lately for getting West Coast rappers angry.
I thought this was the rapper that got pardoned by the president, but
no. It's a song by XXX and Joey Badass, who's been beefing with a lot of West Coast rappers. So I was like, what kind of songs does he have? You know, I don't really know any of his songs. And they have a song called Infinity.
Did you sorry to cut. Did you see the he just did Joey Badass did like a cipher with this guy
Two Guys.
Yeah,
that one.
Yeah. But that was pretty hype. It was this guy. I forgot who it was, but it was like one of them was repping West Coast and the one was like a mediator. But
it was like a little battle there too.
It was fire.
He was trying to call out like Kendrick and stuff. I was like, oh, I don't know about that.
Let the man rest.
Yeah.
He had a year last year.
Yeah, so my Yam of the Week, a lot of choices, like you said. I have like 8 songs that could win it. I'm going to go with a new song that came out today, I think. And the song is Reaching For You by Midrift. This band blew up, I think, on TikTok, because when I first listened to them, I didn't really like them, and they had like 30K listens. And now they're up to like 800K a month or whatever. So good for them. Shoegazy. Their old songs, their old songs were like kind of like a Deftones ripoff, but now they're like getting like their own sound. So
cool,
very good.
Vibe. All right,
nice,
successful episode 242 in the books. That's what I like to see. Make sure to go ahead and like this episode of the Joystick Show. Feel free to subscribe; it helps the boys out tremendously. We've got some stuff in the works. We're going to be doing some doles. You know what I mean? You know, some word doles, some band doles, some her doles. You're gonna be seeing them on the channel. So some chandols. Also got some Let's Play stuff in the works.
Can we make our own, Jerry? Can you get on this? I'll pay you. Can we get our own daily game?
Let's go, man. Let's make it happen.
Those sound hard to make. No,
they are. I know they are.
But fucking stay tuned. We got some gamey stuff to show you, and until 243. If you find Joey, just send him over.
I think he's in prison. There's something there.
The idea of Joey in prison is so fucking
like I imagine Joey in like a Dominican prison. Like it says there's a bunch of dudes, everyone's like saying all this shit. You see Joey's in like a scared puppy.
The bathroom's outside.
The bathroom's your mouth. It's like what the fuck? Yeah.
Trying to like work out with the guys.
The bathroom's your mouth.